Hey traders, welcome to Trade This Market video update for August 28th, 2024. We were looking at a 4-hour and a 2-hour chart of ES contract. So finally, after 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have a breakdown. So what happened was that we were looking for here, especially when these candles were turning green, sentiment 1, sentiment 2 and 3, market had every opportunity to go and retest this 5720. And I thought for sure that we are likely to go and tag this level or at least go back higher at 5879. But that didn't happen. For some reason, market just stalled here at 5669, and then we made a couple of different attempts. It was frustrating to see this because market was not really breaking down and it was not going up. And finally, we saw that there's actually a sign. So ever since yesterday, 2 days ago, sentiment 3 on a 4-hour chart was bearish. We had an opportunity here to go down, but then the 50-period moving average was in the way. We bounced back automatically from here yesterday's session, and now this morning, as early as 6 o'clock this morning, we had an indication that the market is likely to go to the downside. And if we look at the 2-hour chart, was telling us sentiment 2 was bearish, sentiment 3 was bearish. We had a red candle, so this was telling us the market is likely to go to the downside, and that's exactly what happened. So if that's the case, then we're looking for 50% retracement, which is 53.94 and 53.29. Market. So I'll show you here in a minute how we took advantage of 2 trades here to the downside, and we booked over a little over like 48, 50 points to the downside in ES. And what's likely to happen here is that this blue solid line is going to act just as a little bit of resistance support here. Market may actually come back in the overnight session to retest some of these levels, like a 4-hour signal, daily signal. We're below the daily signal line as well. So we may actually do that 5600 to 5615, somewhere in the zone, before going back to the downside. But that remains to be seen. We'll have to wait and see first thing in the morning, see what happens. Let me bring up a chart of VIX so you can see what VIX was telling us this morning. And this was another confirmation that we had on a 4-hour and 2-hour chart that the market is now likely to go down to the downside. VIX was elevated. As you can see, 4-hour VIX as early as 6 a.m. was telling us that we are ready to go down to the downside, and that's exactly what happened. Now, let's take a look at the ES chart on a 3-minute and a 7-minute chart right here. So let me show you. This was a little frustrating in the morning. So here's the 3-minute chart of ES contract. And we knew at the onset that we're looking for this market to break to the downside. But look at the choppiness that went on from all the way to 6:30 to 7:42. I mean, it was just unbelievable choppiness. Market was refusing to go break down to the downside. So, here was the first clue that the market is likely to break to the downside. We had the candle closing below the white signal line. The candles were red, and then market went back up to retest this 50-period moving average and a signal line simultaneously. Anytime when you have those two, market will likely to go and touch, touch both of those, and that's exactly what happened here. But then here, instead of breaking down, it just goes back sideways. Candles were turning green. And then finally, we had one more push to the downside when we broke out of this zone right here, 56.34. This was the trade number one. And so the entry was here. We had the arrows, red candles closing below the white signal line. It broke out from this the range, and now we're ready to go to the downside. So 56.34.30 was a trade, and then you stayed in the trade until about 56.10 or 9. So good 28 points to the downside, 24 points to the downside on a first trade, 56.34 to 56.10. Because you wanted to protect your profit right here. And then what happens in the market comes back one more time before going back up to the upside. You don't want to trade the choppy lunchtime, and that's exactly we avoided trading this. Also, as soon as the lunch was over, we get this huge candle to the downside, closing below the white signal line one more time. We go back, retested. The candles were green, so you wanted to wait until the candles turned red one more time. This is a trade number 2 to 56.05 was the entry. As soon as this candle closed, the red candle closed, you wanted to get involved, and we came back to 56.78. So another 28 points to the downside. And then you wanted to exit the trade. Now, this line was really important. Let me show you on a 4-hour chart why this line was important and why, as soon as we came to it, we wanted to exit the trade. So here's this blue solid line right here. Anytime market comes to it, you are going to likely see support right here. In this case, it came, touched it to the penny, and then bounced to the upside. That's exactly what happened here. It bounced pretty hard actually. It goes from 55.78 to 90, 12, 13 points to the upside. Comes back one more time. Actually, doesn't even come back, and then takes off to the upside. So two trades were beautiful trades to the upside, and then in the after hours, I think we had the Nvidia earnings, and market just gapped down to the downside. So we're gonna see what happens. I think what's likely to happen is that this 3-minute and a 7-minute is likely to cycle all the way through. We may fill the gap. We may actually go back up to 5600, 5615, and then we are likely to go to the downside. So that is the plan, trading plan for tomorrow and the next few days until we reach our final destination, which is 53.94 and 53.29, and then we'll see how the market acts when we get to those levels. So I hope you stay safe, stay nimble, and I'll see you at the next update. Take care.